Today, we're talking about something every cat owner knows all too well: the endless, inescapable, all-consuming cloud of cat fur. But have you ever really stopped to wonder why it happens? Let's get into it.
Right? It's on your clothes, it's in your food, it's probably on you right now. But this isn't just happening for no reason. There's actually some pretty fascinating biology behind all that fluff.
So first things first, let's completely reframe how we think about this. It's so easy to see shedding is just a mess we have to clean up. But for your cat, it is an absolutely essential, totally natural process. In fact, a cat that sheds is a healthy cat.
Yeah, think of it like your cat is doing a constant home renovation. They're tearing out the old, worn-out carpet and bringing in fresh, new stuff. This whole cycle also helps spread their natural skin oils around, which is what keeps their coat looking so sleek and healthy.
Okay, so what is actually going on here, way down at the microscopic level, that creates all this fur? To really get it, we need to zoom in and look at the tiny factory where every single hair gets its start. So deep down in your cat's skin, there are thousands and thousands of these things, hair follicles, and each one is like its own little factory, working away to produce one single strand of hair. It's got different zones for everything: growth, color, you name it. And the hair that comes out of that factory, it's not just a simple thread. It's actually a pretty complex structure with different layers that give it strength and protection. And understanding this is really the key to understanding the whole cycle of growing, resting, and eventually shedding. You see, every single hair on your cat goes on this four-part journey. It all starts with the anagen phase. This is where all the active growing happens. Then it hits a brief transition phase called catagen, where growth just stops. After that, it's chill time in the telogen or resting phase. And finally, the grand finale, the exogen phase. That's when the old hair gets pushed out by a new one growing in, and poof, it's on your couch. This constant cycle is what we see as shedding.
Okay, but maybe you're thinking, that's all fine, but my indoor cat sheds like crazy all year round. What's up with that? Well, it's a super common question, and the answer is probably not what you think.
You'd think it's all about temperature, right? Getting a thicker coat for winter, shedding it for summer, but no. Turns out, the main thing that tells a cat's body to shed isn't the heat, it's light. The amount of daylight they're exposed to basically works like a natural calendar for their fur.
So for an outdoor cat, this is pretty straightforward. They get a huge coat blow in the spring to ditch that heavy winter fur, and another, smaller one in the fall. Their bodies are perfectly in sync with the seasons. But our indoor cats, their world is totally different. The artificial lights in our homes throw their internal clocks for a loop. Without those clear signals of long summer days and short winter days, their bodies just kind of default to a slow, steady shed all year long.
All right, so now that we get the why, let's move on to the really important part. What can you actually do about it?
Let's just get one thing straight right away. You are never going to stop your cat from shedding. It's a natural, healthy process. So the goal here is not elimination, it's management. It's all about controlling the chaos.
And to control that chaos, you need the right tools. Regular brushing is, of course, your first line of defense. It grabs all that fur that's already loose and ready to fall. A good de-shedding tool is a game changer for getting into that thick undercoat. Self-groomers are awesome because your cat basically does the work for you. And if you really want to level up, a pet grooming vacuum can get that fur right at the source.
But it's not all about brushing. A really high-quality diet with lots of good fatty acids will make their hair stronger, so less of it breaks off. And stress? That's a huge factor. A nervous cat might overgroom, which leads to more hair loss. And of course, staying on top of vet checkups and flea prevention is absolutely crucial to rule out other pesky causes.
Okay, and this last part is maybe the most important thing we'll cover. We absolutely have to know when shedding crosses the line from being totally normal to being a potential warning sign. Every cat is different, so knowing what's normal for your cat is step one. But there are some pretty universal signs that what you're seeing is more than just a typical shed. So what do you need to look out for?
Okay, pay close attention here. We're talking about things like actual bald spots or areas where the fur is really thin, any skin that looks red, flaky, or just irritated. A big one is a sudden change in grooming habits, either way more than usual or way less. Also, watch for a sudden explosion of hairballs, a coat that just looks dull and unhealthy, or, and this is key, any changes in how much they eat, drink, or what they weigh.
The bottom line is, if you see any of those things, just pick up the phone and call your vet. Seriously, don't put it off. It could be nothing, but it could also be a sign of something like allergies, parasites, or another illness that needs to be checked out.
So, What's the big takeaway here? It's that a shedding cat is a normal, healthy cat. That fur on your black sweater is just a sign of a perfectly natural process. Once you understand their cycle, you can manage the fur instead of fighting it. And by knowing those red flags, you can be a smarter, more proactive guardian for your cat's health.